What's going on, folks? My name is Matthew, aka EZBOT, and today we're going to make a track from scratch using the factory samples, or sounds, rather, on the Digitakt II. And I have an example of a track that I made doing something kind of similar, using some of the tools from Digitakt II's factory samples. And there's a lot of really great tools, and that's kind of what I want to go over today is the tools that are in the Digitakt II that are so useful for creating any kind of genre, but really great at creating techno, minimal techno, dub, and stuff like that, for getting noise and little percussive sounds. There's lots of great stuff, also including using those noise samples with the comb filter. So we're going to kind of go over all those things. My goal isn't to like go over a bunch of comb filter stuff, so that's not, maybe that will happen. I don't want that to be the focus here. It's really going to be about making a track from scratch and me just talking through that process as I'm doing it. And I also want to share a couple of things that I worked on. I want to share some music that I made recently for the Dub Techno compilation, and kind of we're going to try and emulate making a bit of the same kind of music that I made before for the Dub Techno comp, but in this track from scratch. So I'll give you a demo of that in just a second. But I also want to share that I made a couple of tools for the Electron boxes. So if you've ever struggled figuring out how long your LFO's phase is, like how long is the effect of the LFO in the Electron boxes, there's a graphic in your manual you can refer to, but it's still kind of like, I don't know, it's still just more of a pain to follow, even though it's, it's not that difficult. But I kind of made something to make it a lot easier, and I just want to show it to you really quick. And I also, another tool that's on this, and it's an LFO TIme Table, and I'm going to jump over to it. It's a little app that runs right in my web page, right on my music store web page, and it's right here. It's the LFO timing calculator, and I just want to show you really quick how it works, because it's really fun. So you decide how long you want your LFO phase to do. So imagine you're doing classic automation. I want it to be 16 bars long. That's how long the full phase of the LFO. Calculate the settings, and bam, it tells you all the different settings you could possibly have for your LFO for all Electron boxes. Works with any Electron box. So if you want to know, here's like 1/256th of a bar, or a 16th of a step, not a 16th step, a 16th of a step. So there's lots of values for you to use. And then down here is an Octatrack bank duplicator. You can choose a file, and it will take bank01. Usually, if you're trying to make templates for yourself on the Octatrack, you load bank01 in here and duplicate and download, and it will name them bank01 through bank16, and you just replace your banks in your Octatrack, and that's how you make templates on the Octatrack. So I just wanted to point that out. I think it's cool stuff. And it took me a little while to design. I'm not a coder and or a web developer, but I did do that, and I had the help of some AI resources to kind of help me get the coding going. But really cool. It was really great to have that I was enabled to do that by those resources, and I've already been using it. I've used the bank duplicator. It's saving me a lot of time. So cool tools for you to check out. Please check them out. Okay, so moving forward, and that's of course on at modbang.com. Visit modbang.com. You'll find it in the news section. Okay, so now I want to show you some tunes. I want to show you my dub techno track, and we're going to use that dub techno track, and I just want to be like, this is the goal, is to go in this direction. We'll see if we actually get there. So here we go, down on the table. I got my coffee. We have Digitakt II right here. Of course, we have Digatone 2 here as well, an MA Tracker, a Deluge, and the Octatrack running the HyperFX template, and the new magnets for the HyperFX template. The actual magnets for that template arrive tomorrow, so I'll be shipping them out tomorrow and listing them for order for those who want to pick the HyperFX magnets up. But okay, there's been a whole lot of talking. We haven't gotten into the music production. I know we're here for music production, so let's just jump right into it. Here is pattern 1 of my dub techno track. Mind you, when this dub techno track is recorded, the patterns, certain elements will be coming in and out, slowly fading in and out, maybe coming in through filters. This will all be multi-tracked over to the computer, and that's my process for making something I consider professional, is to multi-track it. You don't have to. Just getting a stereo output of a track I think is great too, and then running that through, a master suite where you can, change the stereo width or isolate certain frequency bands and kind of fix things up. Just a quick master is all you really need to do, I think, to blast stuff out of Electron boxes. They sound really great. But multi-tracking, of course, is going to beat them all out. But here's what I have so far. And hopefully you can hear it. This is a dub techno track that I'm nearly finished with. We're being quiet here because it's a very minimal sound. And the pattern. There's a few sounds from here that are coming from the Digitone, but very few. As you can see, only like 3 tracks are lighting up. There's a little percussive sound here, and the bass, which is playing 4 notes, like literally hitting 4 notes throughout the whole 8-bar loop that's going on, and then a simple chord that's, you can hear it fading in and out, that very phasey chord. Otherwise, everything is coming from the Digitakt II. It's all sampled stuff, and some of samples from sample packs that I have. We're not going to use any of these sounds during our productions. We're not going to use any of these sounds during today's production. We're going to start from scratch. I brought coffee, which I need, and I'm going to use it. Okay, so we're going to go to track or pattern 5 because it's got nothing on it. It is controlling the Digitone 2, and mind you, maybe later down the line, I will use my Digitone 2 and add to this track, because I'm currently working on my new set. And let me clean this off. I forgot to dust this off of all the human debris that finds its way onto Electron boxes. It's crazy. I swear to God, these things just like suck the skin right off your face. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I think that track is a vibe. So here's what I have so far in my set. And we'll keep going. I just want to talk about this because I'm building a brand new set. And I want to start, because I haven't been playing shows because we had a baby over here. And so it kind of slowed down life. It's still very much slowed down. But I'm working my way. I was like, I'm going to let go of my whole old set, which I thought was cool. And I loved all my old music, and just start everything from scratch. And so these are the tracks that I have so far. We've done them all together live on stream. Every single one of them I've started with you on stream. This is what we did last week. Unfinished. All right, and then we did this one. I think I did this one alone. Which is, I don't even know what genre this is. This like dubby house electro? No idea. And then into our minimal, which is where we're gonna land today. All right, here we go. So let's do it from scratch. Good douche. Wow, that's super duper loud. Why is that so incredibly loud? Let me turn this down. Just kidding. We're not doing that. All right. So, no crack and bubbly today. No crack and bubbly. We're gonna suck on this coffee cup that I got because I need it. I'm gonna replace this kick real quick with something new. Again, just factory sounds. So we're gonna load them all from scratch into our factory, into our drum hits. Check out our bass drums. And like I said, I really want to do something closer to that minimal techno vibe that I was talking about earlier, that I showed earlier. That's where I want to land. What kind of factory? Like Build-A-Bear? Yes, we're going to build a techno bear. There is a techno bear, and he does great work. Thank you, Techno Bear, for everything you've done. I think I want something soft. Class. I actually really like the class kick. Let's get another kick. The fastest way to like actually load up your samples would be to go into your sample manager and like just grab a bunch of samples and bring them in, or a bunch of presets even and bring them in. Do I want to go in here? No, I don't. Okay, so I want to grab this slot too, 97, back into our factory, back to our drum hits. We need a couple kick drums. Puff soft. Okay, those two kicks will be fine. Let's replace this with like a better clap from the factory sounds. Something really small. I don't want it to be so big. Back into our drum hits. Snares, claps. Synthetic. Snappy. Oh. Yeah, that works. That's why it was so loud. All the effects are on it. Okay. Apparently I had done something there before. So now we have these very minimal sounds, which is kind of what I'm going for. But I really want to have like this, like a sound that just, a crackly, warbly sound just in the background as a bed for the whole track. And I just love how that sounds. It turns out really good. So I like to put my drums on the top and anything melodic down here on the bottom. So I'm going to use the crackly sound up here, and I guess I'll put it on 8. Whoops. I'm going to go to my source and go to another blank slot. And we're going to go into the factory sounds and go to textures. And we could check out what's this airy textures. No. No. Let's just get some noise. All right, we'll get this tape noise right here. Tape noise hiccup. I'm gonna start with this sound. I'm gonna put a trig down. I'm gonna have the trig go for the length of the 2 bars that it's currently set to. We'll bring that noise down. Bring the track level down. And we can see what it likes. We get some like reverb. Kind of give it some space. Can you hear that? It should be extremely quiet. How long is this sample? Pretty short. I was playing the whole sample. Okay. That's good. Okay, so now we have our little noise, which I think is a really great use of the Digitakt's factory sounds, because it had, in the original Digitakt, didn't have these cool stereo like VHS noise sounds and stuff like that. It just, it had a great factory selection, but nothing like this. These are really cool start off points for your music, especially these noise sounds like this. Some of the ones that have more tonal textures, that stuff I kind of feel like doesn't belong to me, even though it comes with the Digitakt and it's like factory stuff, but it doesn't feel the same. If it has no like pitch at all, for a loop that is, doesn't seem to really bug my brain as much. Not that any of that matters. All right, I'm gonna go down to 16, and we're gonna get a chord from its default, its factory chords, because I do want to make a similar type track, and I need something to inspire me. I'm gonna go in here, and let's look for some chords. Ambient. Spectral fifths. That VCR one sounds really nice. I want like a... Yeah, here we go. I didn't even know these existed in here. C minor inversion. This is very easy for us to get started. So what's so good about this is that it's just a clean chord with no filtering on it. Where it was on 16. No filter, which means we get to choose and use the Digitakt's filter on it. I mean, we would anyway, but there's something nice about that because it makes it be more like this is a polysynth, and now we're just going to run it through a chord, albeit paraphonic. See if I need to adjust these effects. Looks like I already did. Isn't that nice? I'm using this second filter to just remove a lot more of the high end from this because I really want it to be small. Alright, let's make this 128 steps long. I'll put it here. I'm going to copy this, and we'll go here and just quickly... Originally... How do you like the track so far? It's perfect. Okay, now we need more chord sounds, and let's go to another track. Let's go to 15. Oh, change this to a one shot. Clear this filter stuff out. Clear, clear. I've done all this stuff on this track. And we're on number 7. Wait, no, we're on number 15. So now I want like a stabby chord. So I want something that actually does have a filter. Back to tonal, back to chords. Stabs and hits. E minor. I like that. I think that'll be a really cool sound to play with. Let's go here and get another sound. Chords, snaps and hits. let's try that. We got to make them all sound right with each other. So we got this one. Why aren't you playing anything? You're filtered. Sounds like they all work well together. So now let's program a bit. I want this to be kind of a random location. We could throw down our kick now, because I think we did our kick. We have a nice little kick. Let's just keep it at 16 steps for right now. We had another kick in here. Class kick. Well, I think the classy kick is the one we actually want this to be on. And then the puff kick we want to use as an accent kick. Whoa, way too fast. Slow this way down. We're going to be, yeah, around like... Last kick might have too much pitch to it. When I want to replace like a sample completely, you can highlight it here and hold function and hit yes, and it takes you right back to where that sample originally came from. Get it nice and swung. Actually, I'll just keep it like this for now. Let's get like a really tiny, tiny little hi-hat from our factory sounds. Cool. Let's try this sound real quick. Actually, let's bring this to 16. I kind of just want to create a rhythm out of this one. This has got like some dissonance to it that's like... You hear how it sounds without this in it. That's immediately really cool. Maybe I'll switch this one out. Oh, we got a really nice... This is a sweet little thing we got going right now. I love the little noise in the background. It's so simple. Yeah, I'm gonna replace this sound. Maybe I'll even take it, put it right over here. Yeah. Okay. There's something about the sound of the Digitakt. Digitakt 1 and Digitakt 2, it is so good. It sounds so good. And there's something about this style of music on this box that is unbeatable. There is not another box that does this kind of music and has it sound as like crisp and clean as the Digitakt 2 does, or Digitakt does, or just Electron. I just can't find a box that just sounds like this. It always sounds like I would have to put way more effort into getting this sound on my computer than I would on my Digitakt. That's just always been my experience for this specific kind of music, this like minimal techno. And that's what I love, minimal techno. I don't listen to a great amount of electronic music considering how much electronic music I make. But I do listen to electronic music, but I listen to the very specific kind. I mostly listen to like minimal techno, dub techno, and a little bit of drum and bass now and then, but mostly those are the genres that I like to listen to, like while I'm driving. Like this is something I would enjoy driving to. It's a really simple pattern so far, you know? It's a real test of my patience to do factory samples only for a track, because I have synthesizers in here, and the best part about using a Digitakt at all, the best part about using a sampler is using your other pieces of equipment with your sampler. But that's not the challenge today. The challenge is to not do that and to see what we come up with. But I'm already thinking like, oh, I want to get a pad from my synth and run it through the mood and then repitch it and sidechain it. We're going to do some sidechain ducking type stuff here too, but that's really what I want to do every time I have the sampler going. Okay, what was on this one? It's a little loud. Why does this sound like it's just falling apart? Did I pick sounds that were bad? Let's replace this one. See if we can repitch this. Ooh, I like how that sounds. So I want this to do that, what I just did with my hand. Okay. So it's in between the 2 bar and the 3 bar is the spot, I think. So I want to be here. See if we do these together. Bring its volume down. I just want stuff like in the background, just like little snippets that kind of just hang out and play around in the back. That's what we're doing here. So that works now. Okay, let's unlink these. Yes! It's working. But I want to like hear it more. Let's see. Let's just take these 3 triggers and kind of like, we'll do it here. Like that. Cool. All right, we have 16 tracks. So if we just use small sounds that are kind of just like delicate and dancing in the background, we can actually use up all our tracks and it won't sound like a big mud pie. You don't want to have a mud pie. I think I'm gonna put the bass on 9, but I want to keep making little sounds. So what I think I'm gonna do on, well, what were we doing? We did noise on 8, so let's go. Usually I would we'll do it on 5. What I'm gonna do is we're gonna get some noise here again. Except for this, it's gonna be used with the comb filter. So here, you know what, I'm sorry. And I know that like I'm way zoomed out, and we're doing Digitakt stuff. So like, I did this last time. I made everybody watch 2 machines when there's only one doing this stuff. Let's scoot this stuff over here. Put me on the other side. And then focus. 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 There you go. All right. You're super zoomed in. All right. Okay, so we're gonna grab some noise. Textures. Noise. Noise cassette works. Oh. Okay. Actually, yeah, attack, hold, decay mode is fine. We're gonna go into our filter and change it to a comb filter. And now we have a little hi-hat. We're going to play with just 16 steps for now, and then we'll expand it. Let's see what happens. We just throw down some random spots. Now we're going to kind of just dance with them. No. So it's nice little peaks, so we can eliminate all the unwanted frequencies. And then spread them across the stereo field with some painting. And play with some volume automation so that they're a little bit more alive. And I haven't even heard what they sound like yet. But it's not bad. This hi-hat's a little abrasive sounding. Where were we here? Cool, and if I actually replace some of the samples in different spots with these comb filter settings already applied, and kind of make this like our... Oh wait, but they have to be factory samples. Give it a little bit of reverb. So we just took noise, ran it through a comb filter, moved some of the positions around, and then we replaced some of the samples on here. And we're kind of just trying to make something, we're trying to just add some textures. I think we've accomplished that so far. This is absolutely my favorite kind of electronic music. Why? Why am I this way? We still have no bass line. We could throw a bass in here, and that one chord is like, it's maybe a little too much coming from it. There we go. Put it further in the background. Okay, so I think for our bass line, I think we'll use a single cycle waveform because this does a really great job at doing single cycle waveforms. And the call and response between the bass and that chord would be cool. How would I do a call and response between the bass? Oh, the chord that's dinging the bing. So like bam 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 bam. That's a good idea. That's one of my samples. That's not supposed to be here. Ignore that. But this is a Digitakt sample. It sounds good. Nice and clean. What was that? Copy. Okay. I do like this. See if we can make a retrig. Might be kind of cool. This makes it so the retrig goes like every time it retriggers, the velocity goes down. You can have the velocity go up if you want. You can kind of hear it. It's a really quiet sound. I kind of want like this to have, if we move this,
something really weird about that. Okay, so I think what I'll do is we'll move this back to where it was. But I really love what that did. I'm gonna have it do it on the 8-bar turnaround. So I'm gonna move that back over here. And go like that. Oh, that is cool. Yes. All right. Let's save this. We're getting somewhere. I want to get like something, some woody sounds, some like thumpier type sounds. See if we can find something like that in the noise folder. Maybe not in the noise folder. Maybe we'll just grab an actual sample. Factory drum hits. Rim shots would work. What's this clap sound? Class. Love it. That metal bottle went. Oh, I like that. Happens a little too often. I just lost that sound. Yeah, let's use it like that. Bro, it's like pretty prime area. Oof. Sorry, Digatone. My sweet baby. Feeling so left out. Pet your little keys. All right, should we get something that kind of pumps, like some sort of droney texture that kind of like, you know, just kind of like give this a little bit more excitement? Maybe, will that be more excitement? I don't know. All right, we have something here. We do. Okay, we're on 13. 13, we're good. Start with 16 steps. It's so much easier to work with the first just 16 step bar and then expand, you know, so you can hear it repeat over and over. It's really helpful. Let's find something. Factory. Leads. Drifting. That one might actually. Turn this up for you. What else do we got in here? Chris? Let's try ambient. Actually, I think the spectral fifths should work really well for this. Where were we? There we go. Let's have this play the whole time, and then we'll just filter the crap out of it, and then we'll duck it. We're gonna go to our LFO, we're gonna do the ducking setup. It's a really easy setup, I do this all the time on stream. But I'll talk through it anyway. We're gonna target the volume, we're gonna do trig mode, we want trig mode to be set to 1. I'm gonna do exponential envelope, we're gonna go negative with the depth. You kind of set it up to taste from here, BPM 4, 16 for the speed. If you use the LFO tool that I have on Modbang, you'd see exactly the length of time this would be. I don't have it memorized. Then we go to our trig. Turn this trig on. You can move this to like. This will be available to rewatch later. and maybe also become a small short video. What if we add a clap? Once again, let's go 16. Multi-mode filter, where it's at pretty much all the time. Yeah, I think those will be the two different. Check this out. Here's what we'll do. Okay, so we're gonna copy the pattern. We shouldn't be doing this so early, but we're gonna do it just for demonstration's sake. We're gonna go here and paste that. This needs to go away. I don't care to keep it, so I don't care. Okay, so on this version, it'll be like this. So we'll start here. We use some filtering. Do we have a simple filter? Yes. I think I need to have that note go down. Like this note could become a thing. Okay. Then we go here. But we need it to keep going that way, of course. For now. We'll add more notes, I think, as we're going. Just delete this so we don't accidentally play it. Here we go, pattern 2. so clean. Yeah, maybe we don't have a clap on this track. Save it for, and we take this one and we just get rid of these sounds too. All right, let's hear that transition again. I do think the bass line could go. Where is it? Maybe if we make portamento. Sounds a little wonk. Put it back on the grid. Sound should change in this pattern, I think. Let's get a new hat from the factory sounds. Something good. It's kind of ridiculous. Looping. Kind of put this out in the middle of nowhere on the other side. Stereo field. Maybe not that far. Now I can hear like some like little poppy leads. Let's go to a track and put some single cycle waveforms in. Let's go to 12. And we'll grab a single cycle waveform. Go to 109. Factory, oscillators, single cycles. And it's actually demonstrating them oscillating, which is so awesome. But once you load it, it won't be oscillating. It's just, yeah, they're doing some cool stuff with that. digatone, but we have FM over here, so
The FM at home.
not good stuff. Give it a little vibrato. Okay. There was something nice in there. That sounds pretty cool right there. Maybe we move it around. Moved it to this page. Quantize the track. Oh, I do like that on that page. That sounds better. I moved it over. Function, arrow keys, move notes around is a great way to test out rhythms. That does sound better that way.
let's revisit our pattern. So starting off, and we did this all from factory sounds, 100%, no sampling, none of my samples. This just is in the Digitakt II. Making some minimal techno. Here's our next pattern. Goodbye, hysteric. Blessings. Every single time I've made like some music like this, some like minimal techno on the Digitakt, my first pattern, I'm always like, this is it. This pattern is the shit. I love this pattern. There's not going to be a better one. And then I make the iteration, which is like a little bit more energy for pattern 2, and it's always better. So like this is our start pattern, which I really love, and I think it's a great intro to, you know, bringing the energy into this one. And this has way more energy just because of that droney fifth. But I did the same thing with this pattern. I know that I'm looking at the camera, you can't see Digitakt, but I did the same thing with this song. And oh my god, I love this. I'm recording this, mastering it, and I'm gonna release this track. This is all me sampling stuff in the studio, doing resampling techniques with the aux track, where I go into the aux track, process effects on the aux track, and bring it back in here. And then this was that second pattern. This is that second level of energy. What? Has digatone in it, as you can hear. It's just wonderful. Ugh. I'm also digging this track too. I think this turned out really good. I wonder if we took this. Are they locked? Did I lock them in? Oh no, I can try. So maybe do I like it better on... The other one at? It is on F.
All right, so for pattern 3, we're gonna go just mad percussion. So we'll take this pattern, copy it, go to the new one, paste it. We're gonna remove all the melodic stuff except for the bass. So this, what does this have on it? Maybe we'll leave this here, but we don't want any of the sequencing. Okay, we got that. So this goes by. And this will mute for now. This goes by. We're just going to remove the notes. We'll keep the pumping. As funny as that might be, any sound that I put in here now will pump because I already have those LFO settings. So I'm going to keep it that way because it's just a convenience that I really enjoy. And this is what? Oh, destroy that sequence. And then we'll keep the bass. This is going to shrink. And do a new kick. Let's grab a new kick from our factory kicks. All right, let's get like a drum loop and mess with it. So let's go to 4 or 3, I guess, and let's get a drum loop. This is something we haven't done yet. Factory drum loops, dusty, percussive, definitely. Ooh, I like that. Cool. Oh, nice. All right, let's take this. As you can see, that drum loop is not at our BPM, so we're gonna do a little bit of work. Let's fix this, right? Let's make the drum be at the right BPM. So it's a process that we have to go through. Can be kind of an annoying process. Let's see how long is the loop. Long. 4 bars long. Okay. 4. Whoops. Duplicated. All right. So we take it. We're gonna have it play for 4 bars. We're gonna put it into a repitch machine. Okay, but we don't want to just have it play the exact loop. Like, that's stealing. We're stealing the loop. We don't want to steal the loop. I don't mean that. It's not actually stealing. Do whatever you want. These sounds come with the Digitakt. I didn't mean it. We're gonna set the record setup so that it starts the recording when I hit the play button as opposed to the threshold, because sometimes it'll miss the beginning of a resample. And we are gonna resample, what track is it? Track 3. It just held track, so it told me what track. Track 3 for 4 bars, because that's how long that sample was. And arm and go. Stop it. I don't want to hear it. Okay, and we'll call this perk loop. What's our tempo? 116. And we'll just replace the track that it's on with it, which is 3. Cool, and now let's change this from repitch to a grid and play with our grid. All these cool sounds we just got. There's some good ones in there. I don't need the kick or the snare, to be honest. I can just filter it out and make a nice little percussion thing with it. But let's just play with the single bar once again. And let's just make something like this really quick. Let's just make it kind of little. Oh my god. Why do I love little sounds like that? Can you even hear it? I just do. Put it over in the right ear. I'm putting them all over the stereo field if you can hear it. That was too loud. All right, so we're going from here. This is the first pattern that we wrote. And then it goes into the higher energy moment. Still very minimal, but it's got that thing to it. And then we go to here. This is our breakdown. want that to play all the time, so let's make this 4 bars and kind of remove it from these other bars. Let's give these things some rolls. Trig. Whoops. No, stop it. Get out of here. Get out of here. I had one in 5. Oh. such a like a chill vibe here. And then let's go back to our breakdown track. What, I hit the button at the wrong time? Do I like those sounds? What track was it? I want to try a different oscillator. Oh, I do like that better. Harry, you never make it on time. What's going on, folks? I'm just going to check in with the chat real quick, because there seems to be some people hanging. Hysteric. Doing a lot of chatting before they took off. Real nice, thanks. What is the input level set on the mixer section of the Digitakt II? Is 100 unity, or is it higher or lower? I believe 127, the max value should be unity. Well, oh, somebody... Of course, the next comment. Yes, 127. Or maybe 2 steps. Yeah, I kind of moved past that, didn't I? I didn't see your message. Sorry. Got to be creative with the loop. I agree. Yeah. Random locks. Not so much. No high quality algorithm for the time stretching. There is a higher quality algorithm for time stretch, but it's not amazing quality time stretch. Like, it's decent. I don't even think it's as good as the Octatrack's time stretch, and despite it being like 1,000,000 years old. What is it? 14 years old or something now? 13 years? Is passable but not Ableton level? Everybody's just saying 3 and 4. I'm so behind. Also less than an Octatrack and Digitakt II. Plus not the goal. DAC owners, would you prefer as a combo? Digitone to Takt II owners, what would you prefer as a combo? You own a Syntact. I would 100% say get a Digitakt II as the first box or only box
or next box. No matter what, basically what I'm saying is you want to have a Digitakt II. It is the best box, in my opinion, besides the Octatrack, that Electron's ever made. And then second to that, I guess, second to Digitakt in terms of the Digi would be the Digiton. The Digiton just has more features, more of a sound palette, a different sound palette than the Syntakt. But I actually considered streaming today doing solo Syntakt music, just because I miss playing on my Syntakt and I miss those dual VCO engines. They sound awesome. And the kind of music that I made on the Syntakt was completely different than the music I make with the Digitakt Digitone combo, because you just don't make the same sounds as the Syntakt on the Digitone because of the analog engines. They're just crazy sounding. You know, they get huge. Have I used an Iridium? You know, I have never used the... I mean, I've played on an Iridium, but I don't own an Iridium. I haven't used it in a production. I've used it at the music store, which I played on a bunch. It's a beautiful, beautiful sounding synthesizer. I use this right here, which you can't hear at the moment. Or maybe not at all. Let's see. And this is awesome, and I show this off on stream all the time. This is my main poly. I only use one poly synth at a time, and there isn't really room for another one, but this has got some Iridium type features. It does wavetables. You can load your own wavetables into it. It's polyphonic, and it's got a ladder filter, analog ladder filter. So I know the Iridium's got some really great features, but this is the one that I use, and I love it. Doesn't it look like a Florida sunset or something in the back of the room? There's just a little orange lamp that I have turned on, and it just mixed so well. Sounds huge. It is huge. Sunday, Sunday, Sunday. Monster Truck Rally Madness. I still like the immediacy of the Syntakt, though, as someone who hasn't used a Digitone or done FM synthesis before. Yeah, that's a good point. I don't think you need to know FM synthesis, though, to have fun with the Digitone at all. I don't think, in fact, sometimes I think, you know that old adage where it's like nobody wants to go to college for music production, or go to college for music, or learn music or whatever? Not nobody. Let me rephrase this so I sound like an idiot. You know that idea that people think if they go and get educated on a concept, it's going to steal the creativity from you? That is true. Sometimes, I admit, it's happened to me before, where I'm like, well, now I know, I understand music theory better, so I want to use those concepts other than just noodling and exploring on notes. That will get in the way sometimes and trip you up. But that, you might think that if you understand FM synthesis, that you're going to be better at FM on the Digitone, but that is not true at all. You don't need to understand very many concepts at all on the Digitone to have a great time. You don't have to get it. You just turn the knobs, and if you like the way it just sounds good. You know what I mean? And that's honestly, I think, the cooler music that you're going to make on the Digitone, that's where it's going to come from, is like your lack of understanding. Truly. And that's what's so great about like the dual VCO and the Syntakt, is like you load up the dual VCO and you start playing with, like, it's got 80 something oscillator combo setups where it's, doing ring modulation and FM, and it'll have it phase resets on certain ones. That's a little dot that you see on the waveform, stuff like that. And then you have the balance between the two, and then you have, of course, your two LFOs, and you don't know what's happening at all. You're just listening. You're just playing with your ears, and I think that is really useful. So that's just my argument for like why you don't need to know FM. FM has got this weird thing about it where people think it's so tough to understand. Nobody memorizes the algorithms for FM. Nobody. I mean, maybe somebody has. My old music instructor from college, he memorizes the algorithms because he programmed the DX7. He was Dave Bristow, who's one of the DX7 programmers. And that was one of the teachers that I had in college. And he didn't teach me anything about FM. Sorry, Dave, but I didn't learn anything about FM from you. But he did have that all memorized. But he did teach me some cool stuff.
but nothing FM related. Anyway, you don't need to memorize that stuff. You do want to understand the carrier on the digatone specifically. I know it's not a digatone stream, but I think if you want to know anything, come here. Oh my god. You want to know what's happening in the C box, the carrier box, because this is going to affect the fundamental the most. Just pay attention to that and play with the rest. Honestly. That's it. Play it to, like, keep that at, you know, not keep it at 1, but just know that when it's the keyboard isn't matching the actual note, it's probably something you did here. The rest of it, just go nuts. Go ham. You don't need to know anything. Anyway, I don't know why I went off on that. I just think it's important you know that you don't need to know. Love it. M. Dwyer made a video about FM if you're interested in learning, but it's true that you don't need to understand it. I saw that video. Hey, what's up, M? Yes. That was, I did see your video. That was a great video. And quite long. I didn't watch the whole thing, I must admit. It was just too long. But I also already know how to do FM. But it was a good video. If we're thinking of the same video, it's the really long one that you made. I think you made it. Definitely everybody go watch M. Dwyer's video. Because it was sick, if it is the one I'm thinking of. Even if it's not, go watch M. Dwyer's stuff. Why not? Because they're here. So you're saying is that no music theory knowledge is the best way to make music? Well, kinda. Sometimes, yeah. Truly. You know, I was looking back at my Digitakt projects from, like, my Digitakt 1's projects from when I first got the Digitakt, and I was listening to the music that I made when I first got the Digitakt 1. And I knew how to, you know, program machines because I knew how to program the Octatrack, but I was still kind of, at that time, like, I wasn't amazing at the Octatrack by any means. I hadn't put the time that I put into it by now, which is, like, you know, 6 years later of daily Octatrack use. And I loved those projects, and I definitely was way worse at music theory then, and I was definitely worse at just production in general, but those projects were awesome because it was just exploration. And the exploration was so fun, it was so good, and so effortless, you know what I mean? Because nothing mattered. I didn't care about anything. I had no, like, there wasn't this destination I was aiming to get to. I was just along for the ride and just learning the box, you know? And I miss that. I do. I really do miss that. But I am kind of, like, back into that space lately on a personal level as I'm exploring getting better at different genres. Like, we made this. I'm already hearing stuff that I don't like in it. Maybe I take those little dots. Maybe that doesn't need to be there. But I've been exploring genres and getting better at those genres, learning those genres. And that's a lot like that experience of, like, not knowing what I'm doing. I'm kind of just listening. Like, I pop on YouTube videos of other producers and I listen to them. Or not even other producers. I mean, yes, other producers, but just, like, artists' music that's on there, not like YouTubers that are making jams and stuff. I just mean, like, albums that have also been posted on YouTube. I'm listening to them and I'm just trying to, like, copy sound design and copy ideas and some of their little motifs that they have in their tracks. And that's, again, I feel like the exploration, because I don't know exactly how to do what they're doing always, you know? I'm like, where's that sound coming from? Like, why does this sound like it's going through a vocoder? Is it a vocoder? You know, I start thinking those thoughts and then I start trying. Let's grab a vocoder and see what happens. And I love that experience. Oh, Cook. I'm a crackerjack. That is totally your video. I know that too. I don't know why I didn't put that together. It isn't M. Dwyer's. It is your video. And you're here all the time, Cook Sonia. You're the best. I see you all the time, and you're a wonderful person to have in the chat. That is a really great video. Sorry. I totally just told it. Well, everybody go check out M. Dwyer's FM video you never made. But also check out Cook Sonia's FM video. You deserve people to go and watch it. I know a lot of people have watched it as a popular video now, but it deserves the attention because you really did. You did put in the work, and it shows. It's great stuff. You put in the work, and it shows. The rare syntax compliment. Kudos to you, EZBOT. I love the syntax. What is going on? Do people think I don't like the syntax? I love the syntax. I did some of the launch videos for the syntax. Electron paid me to do them. They actually gave me money to do launch videos for them. So I love it. I just like the Digatone more. And honestly, what it comes down to is desk space. I just don't, for me, I don't like the idea of having a ton of gear in front of me. Like when I'm writing music and writing sets, I don't want to have like these giant cases. There's a couple people that I've played like regular shows with. I'm going to call them out, right? I'll call one of them out. And a really great performer, great music. Som Shankar. I love Som's music. Som always has this giant rig when he goes to play shows. We've played a bunch of shows together in Portland and here in Seattle. And one of the artists I've played the most shows with, it just happened to be that way. And always this giant rig. He's got compressors in his rig, like big analog, full-on compressors. Not just like little ones. I have a compressor here, but it's a little guitar pedal compressor. But like a full-on warm audio, bus compressor, which I want badly, but for my studio. And then, 303, another box, another, effects, reverbs, and delays and all this stuff. And I'm totally like, I love that idea, but there's so much on the table, and I'm just so, maybe I'm OCD or something. I really am, I'm unsure, but I have this thing where I want really tight, small packages when it comes to music. When it comes to music, I like smaller setups. And getting really good at small setups and seeing what I can get out of them. And so when I have the Digitakt II, Digatone II, I know someone's gonna make a tight package joke at some point here, and the Syntact and the Octatrack on the table, it becomes, you like that, Ponchi? It becomes a bit much for me. Like it just becomes a lot of pieces of gear to handle. And it's not that and then I start, yeah, we're all guilty of this, I think. I'm just gonna assume that we're all guilty of this. Guilty of, because there's so many tracks to use. The Syntact was that machine that when it came out, Digitakt 1 and Digitakt 2, or Digatone 2, we're talking Electron stuff. This is Electron. Basically an Electron channel, I guess. I don't know. When Syntact came out, Digitakt 1 and Digatone 1 were out. And they only had, 4 tracks Digatone 1, 8 tracks Digitakt, monophonic, 8 MIDI tracks, which was awesome, totally overkill. To me, at least. Anyhow, we didn't have very many tracks, right? We had 12 total tracks with those two boxes together. Then we got the Syntact, and we had 12 tracks just in the Syntact. And it was such a game changer. It was just like, we just doubled the amount of tracks we had if we were digi people like me. I love all the digi boxes. And then now we have Digitakt with 16, and then Digatone with 16, and rightfully so, because it's 2025 now. Like, we should have all the features in the world. In fact, there's stuff omitted from the feature list in the Electron stuff that's just like being done by smaller developers, smaller manufacturers, like the M8, for instance. This is something we're talking about. I made this, right? I talked about this earlier in the stream, where I made an LFO timing calculator app, right? Here's that app. But on devices like the M8 tracker, you don't even need something like this. You don't need to go to a website and type in calculate your LFO settings to see how long the LFO is going to run for, because it displays it down at the bottom of the screen in steps. You know what I'm saying? You don't need this for an M8, but you do for Electron because, I don't know, because they chose not to put that on there. Like because it's not valuable enough. I don't know, because maybe it clutters it up and they have a very tight aesthetic. But I wouldn't mind little descriptors popping up every now and then giving me some really important values like that. Like, I want to know how long the LFO is going for. I do. That's why I made that little app, because I really wanted to know. Anyway, I just think that kind of stuff is important.
Handle digging deeper. Yeah, exactly. I really like it's no longer a tight package. Exactly. It becomes like it becomes too big of a package for me to handle. That's for sure. My rig grew too much, and now I just curl up in bed with a Digitakt and headphones. This is the same thing that happens, and we already did our techno production here. Now we're just chatting. We'll go back to it, but how about choke groups? Good point, Harry. Really great point. How about choke groups? How about solo? Did you know that your digiboxes actually have solo? They have the solo function in the MIDI table. If you look at it in the MIDI CC section, there's a solo CC parameter that you can send to your boxes. So if you had a MIDI controller that had solos and mutes on the controller and you want to set that up or add buttons for that, you could do it. But it's not something you can do naturally in the machine. When it's a simple button combo, in my opinion, some sort of mute combo button, why not have it there? But it does exist. But choke groups, that's another really good point. We're not here to harp on Electron. We love Electron. But these are things we want, right? You know? I think we want them. Yeah, I didn't either, but they do exist. It just, you do need a controller for it. And this is kind of, and I've been thinking about it so much. So the other day, or a couple weeks ago, I bought a filter bank for my Eurorack. I bought the Night Rider by Rick Modular. I've used it one time. And I want to use it because I really like filter banks. Like that's the sound that just like really is, I find extremely attractive to me. I love the sound of throwing things through vocoders and filter banks and comb filters. I think filters are where it's at when it comes to like music and when it comes to electronic music. There's oscillators and all those other sounds. Like FM is another great one. Wavetables and FM, as far as sound sources, are really good. Maybe physical modeling too. But anyway, I think filters really get the job done. That's like really where you're really gonna get the most out of it. And I picked up that Rick Modular, and I really like that company. But I haven't, like I said, I only used it one time. I'm just not using my modular still, and that's because there's so much setup in that process. I have to patch, which is a joy to do if you are in exploration mode. But if you just need to get some music together, patching isn't always a joy. Patching can be a pain in the ass. And there's leaving your patches. And then you're like, well, what am I doing? I don't know. That's a whole different mindset. But anyway, the idea is there's something really nice about keeping this simple package and just getting really good at your desktop synths, like Digitakts and M8 trackers and polyend gear and MPCs and stuff like that. Somebody needs to send me an MPC so I can learn how to use that. Would I like an MPC? I don't know. Probably not, but maybe. But yeah, focus on one piece of kit. I often get questions who are like, which piece of gear should I start with? I'll get emails, or if I'm doing private lessons. I do private lessons, by the way, for those who want private lessons. It's EZBOT.live. But I get a lot of people ask me, where should I start? What piece of gear should I start with? And to me, it's always Digitakt II. It's always a sampler because it can, it's a chameleon in the music space. It can just be whatever sound you need it to be. But now that it has like the filters, all the different filter types on it, it's just really, really awesome. But I recommend that you start with a box instead of a bunch of boxes. I've run into several people that I've done private lessons with, and they hit me up and I go, oh, so what are you working with? And this isn't to call out anybody who's done lessons with me and you feel like I'm calling you out. I'm not. This is just a truth. There's a lot of people who do this. They are retired, or they have time and they have money, and they pick up all of the Electron suite, or they pick up all the stuff, all the good stuff, and then they have to go and learn all the pieces of gear. But you're being pulled in every which direction because this one does this and that's cool, and this one does time stretch and that's cool, and this one has polyphony and that's cool. But they're all their own ecosystem. They all have their own workflow, and they're all capable of making an entire song just in the box by itself. And when you stack up too many of those pieces of equipment, it's really, without being a seasoned producer, it's really hard to finish anything or to write anything that sounds cohesive
because you don't know them all very well, and you're being pulled to use one versus another. And so you don't ever really get to know them very well. And it isn't until later, maybe even years later, maybe you even give up. Maybe it even kills your whole joy with the whole experience because you've just been like, well, what do I even do? I'm never going to be good enough or whatever. And that's just because you can't practice because you haven't decided on a piece of equipment. I was lucky enough, and many of us were lucky enough to get into this at when it was just rhythms and analog fours and octatracks, and there was no handheld trackers other than Game Boys. And there was a Deluge had come out at that point, but the Deluge didn't have nearly the feature set that it has now. And so, but I learned the Deluge, like I learned it really well. And I learned the Octatrack extremely well because there just wasn't that many other ones. There was MPCs. And then when the Digitakt came out, there was no Digatone. So I learned the Digitakt extremely well. And then when the Digatone came out, I had already learned the Digitakt. You know what I mean? So there was this lucky time to get started in electronic music and hardware electronic music where the progression was actually very linear and simple, and it kind of kept you on rails to learning music, to learning live hardware or learning hardware electronic music. And now if you get into it, there is just a menagerie, a plethora. There's so many awesome pieces of equipment to choose from that it's so hard to pick. And so you end up picking them all because it's not a $1 million to buy them. You could spend $2,000 or $3,000 that you have saved up. That's how much it costs to buy a nice guitar. You could spend $2,000 or $3,000 and you could pick up a Digatone and a Digitakt and a Syntakt. And then you're, at least when you learn those boxes, learning one box kind of lets you learn them all, which is nice. But there's a lot to be said about all that stuff. I know I'm just talking, but it's good stuff. It's good to think about, I think. The more hardware, the less productive you are. That's kind of what I'm saying. So it's like the more that I put, the less that I have on the table, the better the music. Which is why I keep focusing on these ideas where I just have one piece of equipment, which is why today was, let's make a track on the Digitakt. And I've also been going down this this path, this minimal techno, dub techno path. The more pieces of equipment that I add to it, the less minimal it sounds, naturally. I don't know if I want to keep these. Where are they? Is it this track? That's 12. I think those little pretty notes, they're too much. You guys hear my dog? My dog's name is Gemma. I love her, and she is also the bane of my existence. All right, here's our breakdown. I don't think I'm gonna have those little ding and tings in there. It's just not techno enough for me. No one is missing this intact. David. You start, this is literally what I was just talking about, Marco. You start with a Digitakt II. You skip over Digitakt I, because you don't need it anymore. And you get a Digitakt II. Easy. Well, the other argument could be made there's an argument that could be made for getting a Digitakt II first if you're really, really into synthesizers and you don't care about samples. Digitakt II. I think the Syntakt has positioned itself in a spot where it's still dope, and I love it, and I can hear it. It's so funny when somebody shares a track with me, and I can immediately tell that it's the Syntakt. It's so obvious, but you can kind of tell with the Digitakt II, but you can't tell with the Digitakt. You just know it sounds good. That's cool about the Digitakt. But yeah, get a Digitakt. That's the answer to your question. Zounds, the gift and the cures. Yes, make sure you use my Zounds affiliate links. There is a music store called Zounds with 2 Z's, and I am an affiliate artist with them. And I think they're in Chicago. They have they have everything. They're like a little mini Sweetwater. They give me a fantastic affiliate amount. What do I want to put? Why am I'm brain farting so hard. They give me anyway. Commission. Jesus Christ. What is wrong with me? Anyway, they give me a fantastic commission at no at no extra cost to you. Thank you, Justification. Holy shit. Unbelievable. What's wrong? This brain is just goop. Anyway, do it. Give me commission money. You're melting. Don't use honey. Sounds is great. I use them all the time. Good. Use my Sounds affiliate links. I like this breakdown. I think it works. So I muted this. I'm just gonna delete it because I don't want it. I could like do a single note actually. I think that works. Yeah, we could do this. Kind of just give it like a random probability of whether it plays these notes. Bitty, bitty, bitty. Is there like too many sounds happening at the same time somewhere? I'm gonna copy this track and paste it on this track, and then I'm gonna copy these sounds, go to this track, paste it on this track, because I like to do hi-hats on that track. I'm gonna delete this. This seems to be my hi-hat track. I'm gonna delete all these other sounds that are not hi-hats. And then let's see how this thing. Let's remove these on the spots where the hat hits. Oops. Get out of here. What if we run this whole thing through a comb filter? wait, no, I didn't want that there. Comb filters are so cool. Ugh. That's dirty. Oh, I kind of want to hear that. Like, let's actually take that and give it its own track. Damn it. Oh my god, do we have something cool that we could do here? Let's duck it on a bucket. Duck it on a bucket. What if we change the baseline rhythm to stop so it's like boom, 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 boom. I just want to hear it. Function yes, save to a temporary area. Just copy that. We'll just do the offbeats. Yeah. Ugh. Let's do like a triplet right here. Yeah. Maybe I should have kept that one there. Whoa. You hear that? Retrig get ratcheted on. God, that's sick. That triplet bass line. Okay, check this out. Let's see what our track's like so far. Let's save it. On here? No. And then into our breakdown. Of course, we would do this very slowly at a live show. We'd be playing with everything, making this track last us, 5-6 minutes. Yes. I actually like this the most. Should turn that up. Is this the one that's... This might be a little too bassy. Yes. Cool. We can even jump right here, right into the breakdown. you gotta have these percussion breakdowns like this. They're so good. They're just so anticipatory. They really, really make you think something's gonna happen soon. We gotta fix that too. There we go. The bass was a little out of control. Is it this? Yeah, I don't think I like that sample anymore. Let's choose a new sample. Again, only factory presets. Factory sounds. Synthetic. Ugh. Oh, thanks. What if we took this sound and right at the end, we just like use an LFO to bring the pitch down? Let's use a ramp. Oh. Shit, I forgot. Because of the ducking, it's going to reset those every time. Oh well. I guess we won't do that. There is something cool. Maybe if we use portamento there, it might sound good. Cool. My name's Matthew, aka EZBOT, and this has been a live stream. This episode was about making techno
from scratch using the Digitakt II's factory samples only. And that's what we did. We made 3 patterns, one of them a breakdown, intro pattern, kind of like a minimal dub techno vibe, because that's really what I'm into right now. That's kind of music that I really enjoy making. If you like these kind of streams, feel free to join the Patreon. It is free. Feel free to join the Discord. There'll be a link in the comment section below. If you want to go a little bit further, you can subscribe to the Patreon, and that helps put food on the table here in my household. You can also pick up these pieces of gear using the affiliate links in my video description. They pay me handsomely and at no extra cost to you. So check that out. It's pretty sick. There is some live shows coming up again. I don't have the posters for that because I'm a fool, but I will later this week when I do another stream have those posters for the live shows. So it's a show in Portland and a show here in Seattle at the end of the month. Look forward to both of them. You can visit the Modbang Instagram to find pictures or posters of both of those shows. What else did I had? Also, yeah, check out the little tools that I made. They're free. They don't cost anything. The LFO timing calculator and the bank duplicator for the Octatrack. These are tools that I made for us to use so that we can know how long our LFOs are cycling for very easily, very quickly, much faster than guessing or listening for it or whatever, or memorizing the table, which is also a pain to do. But that's going to be it for me. It's been over 2 hours. I usually stop at 2 hours. It's been 2.5, so I went a little too long today. But look forward to seeing everybody in the Discord. Feel free to join. If you're looking for private lessons, EZBOT.live. I'm available for lessons. You can also do the Patreon for that. If you want to get your hands on the templates for the Octatrack, that's coffee.com or the Patreon. All sorts of cool stuff. HyperFX template overlays, if you're into the HyperFX template, the Octatrack arrive tomorrow. So I'll have those shipping out by tomorrow night. So excited about that. I'll see everybody again soon. I was going to say something else, but it seems like I've already said it all. I'll see everybody again soon. Maybe I'll see you on Friday. Thanks for hanging out.